Ice Scream was released by Kaplarians in 2019. I haven't got a phone just yet, but I watched a couple of YouTube videos about the game. Basically, it's about a stout boy getting kidnapped by the main antagonist, Rod Sullivan. Rod was a very creepy ice cream man. He wore a blue apron, a white suit and pants, a red bow tie, and a very creepy mask, which I guess resembles an ice cream bar or something. Anyways, the plot was to rescue the kid without getting caught. When you get caught too many times, Rod takes you to his factory, and it looks like he traps you in the fridge. Once I got my own phone, I got excited and downloaded the game. I played the game, but something was off. Rod didn't sound like what he sounded in the YouTube videos I watched. His voice sounded demonic and robotic, but he still said the same exact thing. "Oh, hello. Don't you want to try my delicious ice cream?" And same thing, he froze a little boy with his ice breath, but the boy's voice sounded like a blood-curdling woman's scream, rather than his normal childlike scream. The scream was so ear-piercing that I went deaf for about a minute. When I got my hearing back, I continued the game. I got the rope and put it on the windowsill, and got down and hid in the doghouse. Rod came out of his van, singing his jingle, but still in the creepy robotic voice. "I'm going to kill some kids today. I'm looking for the chump-lubby ones. I'm going to find me some chubby kids, and we're gonna make some ice cream fun." I was like, please fix this, Kaplarians, and I escaped from the doghouse. When I got the map, Rod dropped and went in the van. My first thought was to go to the playground, so I pressed the icon. Sure enough, that's where we went. The playground looked nothing like the gameplays I saw on YouTube. It looked more rusty and abandoned. The swing set, merry-go-round, and spring riders looked broken. I looked around to find anything to solve the puzzle. Rod saw me and chased me. The chase music was not a whole lot better. It sounded like the Granny Nightmare Mode chase music playing in reverse. But at least his voice was back to normal. I ran away and got whatever I needed. And I went to the cafeteria. The cafeteria looked nothing like the video either. All the tables were smashed to pieces, and the kitchen looked like it was nuked. I went to look for the apron that had the employees' names. Sure enough, it was at the wall where it normally was. But when I went to the van, I got caught by Rod. The scream sounded like the blood-curdling scream like the boy from the intro. I was taken to the fridge in the stall. I escaped from the stall, and when I got out, the visuals again looked abandoned. The stall looked like rotten wood, and was about to fall out any second. Then I noticed the petrol can I needed. I got it and went to the playground. But for some reason, the playground looked the same, except now the slide was torn down and smashed to ruins. I rushed to the gasoline tank and filled it with the petrol until I was caught again. I escaped again, and just like the playground, now the trees were missing, and the only ones were there was where Rod had a hammock and occasionally sleeps. They were all stumps now. I made my run. The only stop that looked normal was the parking, but the background music was terrible. It sounded exactly like the Suicide Mouse music, except it was slowed down. I went to fill the race car with petrol and rode on it. I was close to getting the cage key. I grabbed the key, but when I went to the van, caught again. But the game over was nothing like the normal one. I was in some sort of slaughterhouse. Rod was looking at me and was smiling. but his mask was covered in blood and was holding the boy's severed arm. He threw it on the floor and picked up a chainsaw. He sang his jingle one last time, but it was back to the demonic robot voice. After he finished singing, he turned on the chainsaw and said, "Good night, chubby boy," and the blood-curdling scream played one last time, and the game over screen appeared. But Rod appeared close up on the screen. His face was partially revealed, but only his mouth and chin was seen. He had the boy's finger in his mouth and was smiling menacingly. His teeth looked yellow and rotten. My game crashed. I went to get back on it, but it wouldn't let me on. It was broken. I wrote on the reviews on what I experienced. 2 minutes later, Keplerians responded. They said, "We apologize for that mistake. This was the early version of the game, but we thought the settings were too over the top and the bad ending was too violent. So we fixed all the graphics and made a better ending. We're guessing that it was accidentally released on your advice. Again, we would apologize for the mistake and would like to update the game." I deleted the game immediately. I never re-downloaded it. It's now 2024 and Ice Scream 8 is now released. The series seems to be doing well, but I've never forgotten my experience with the first version of the game.